What's up, guys? Kiss here, and today we are reacting to 3 terrifying true close encounter horror stories in. Now, I know what y'all niggas thinking, man. It's been a long time since I uploaded. Y'all know why? I'm lazy. I'm lazy. I have so many videos I could edit, but I literally go to them, I look at them in the editor, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not trying to edit these, but yeah, and none of y'all better say I'm trying to be fucking Corey Kenshin. that's gonna get me annoyed. I'm not Corey. I've always wanted to react to horror stories. So yeah, let's get into these anime videos, and the original creators will be linked down in the description. Show them some love. Go subscribe to the channel MJV Animations. Leave a like, and yeah, without further ado, let's watch the video.
For a good few months in late 2021, I was staying at my grandparents' old house. They had passed away a while ago, and my family hadn't sold the place yet. It was kind of used as a vacation house for the time being, but for those few months, I was in between apartments and needed somewhere to stay, so it worked out. I wasn't too happy about it, because it was a really old and janky place. Not having to pay rent was nice though.
True.
Anyway, this happened 2 months into my time there. I had gotten home from work at 6, parking in the driveway and heading to the mailbox to collect my mail, when one of the neighbors came up to me. She was an elderly woman I'd talked to a few times before, just about my grandparents and my situation and whatnot. Through our few conversations, I also happened to mention that I was staying at the house alone temporarily, and that's why she came up to talk to me. She remembered me saying a couple days ago that it was just me staying there, but earlier in the day, while she was walking around the neighborhood, she saw someone moving around behind the windows inside the house.
Granny, I think you have schizophrenia or you're off your meds. Hey, we need to take you to a nursing home. No, I'm playing.
When she also noticed my car wasn't there, it made her worry because she was pretty sure I was at work. I thanked her for letting me know, but honestly, I didn't fully take in what she said. She didn't seem super confident in what she saw, and I mean, that would be crazy. Why would anyone be inside my grandparents' old house?
Hey bro, listen, Granny, I don't think Granny's account is really anything to look at. Like, if multiple people see someone in your crib, bro, they don't be like, yo, I'm gonna scope the place out, bro. Call me SEAL Team 6 or whatever. But this Rainbow Six Siege, I'm gonna check corners. I'm gonna freaking drone or whatever, bro. Like, come on.
Still, walking inside, I did a quick check around for any signs someone might have broken in or moved anything.
Check the basement.
But I saw nothing. Not even a shoe print on the ground. It definitely.
What is this guy talking about? Not shoe print on the ground. You think this guy's traveling in mud? You think this guy has like flour on his feet and magic is gonna appear? Dude, these people are so so dumb. So what do you mean you don't see no footprints? Why would there be footprints?
Definitely was a weird and unsettling way to start my night, but I hoped it really was nothing to be worried about. I made dinner and watched TV in the living room for the rest of the night. It was a Friday, so I was off the next 2 days. I must have stayed up past 1 a.m. During that time, I'd basically forgotten about the whole thing my neighbor had told me. It kind of just felt like a regular night. With it being very late though, I shut off the TV and headed upstairs. Now, when I'd gotten home earlier, the sun was still lighting up most of the house, so I didn't turn most of the lights on, which made the whole house very dark now that it was in the middle of the night.
Hey, save money in your bills,
The
man.
only lights I turned on were the ones in the bedroom when I changed out of my work clothes. I headed up the creaky wooden stairs to the second floor, then down the hallway and into the bedroom. This was a really old room, just like the rest of the house, but it had two sections.
Hey, you got locks though? On your
There
door?
was the bed area with, well, a bed. And then there was a small hallway with a closet and one of those dated vanity desks built into the wall. On the other side of that was a large bathroom with a separate shower, bathtub, and way too many mirrors. Kinda creeped me out, to be honest.
Why? You do
Anyway,
rituals?
I used the bathroom, shutting off the lights in there as I went back into the bed area, turning off those lights as well. However, right away, I realized something was off. There was still a light on. I turned around, and after a second, I felt my heart start racing a little bit.
Where's the light on?
That vanity/closet hallway between the bed and the bathroom had a light on. To give context on why this was so disturbing, it was one of those single, old-fashioned light bulbs attached to the ceiling, with a thin string hanging down that you had to pull to turn it on and off. For that reason, I never once used that light.
I would say, yo,
not to mention
whoever's in
it
there,
was nearly
get out fast, start
impossible to
blasting.
accidentally turn it
I'm
on
bluffing,
or
even if I
off
got-
because
even if I don't
it
got a
was
gun, I'm
only
bluffing.
managed by pulling the string. I walked up to the hallway and stared at it. The fuzzy, bluish hue of the light was barely coming through the fogged up glass on the bulb. Thing had to be decades old. I carefully reached up and pulled the string. The amount of force it took to actually get it to click off was deceptive. Definitely wouldn't just click on its own. The more I
you're dealing with a basketball wrestler. Cause you said the amount of force it took for you to get up there and you're jumping. Like either you're really short, really unathletic, or the dude is literally built like the Undertaker. Okay, those are your only three options, bro. And look, your options for surviving: one, call the cops. Look at your skin color. They're gonna come in 3 minutes. 2, get a gun. Hey, use it responsibly. With great power comes great responsibility. And 3, you better learn how to box. Cause if dude is like eating Wheaties, you're not gonna beat him. Okay, you're literally gonna get grabbed up and slammed. So let's see how you're gonna deal with this situation.
looked into it, the more nervous I got, especially when my neighbor's comment about seeing someone inside here crept back into mind. Looking back, I should have left right then and there, just to be safe. But I think it's a lot easier than people give credit for to let yourself believe it's all some kind of fluke. Like, what if the light really did just turn on its own? It was old as hell. Maybe it wasn't working right.
All right. Why would the light turn on its own when you have to pull it? Is this guy okay? You have to pull the light to turn it on, and the amount of force it takes to turn it on, it's crazy. I'm not gonna lie. If you're in The Conjuring, you're dead.
And again, the chances someone broke into this old place of all things was so extraordinarily small that I really felt I needed real proof if I were to believe it, let alone call 911 over it. I mean, a single light being on in the house that I never ever used was creepy and unsettling. Don't get me wrong. But at the same time, I didn't feel it was enough to really freak out over. Though I definitely wasn't going to get good sleep anytime soon. I turned the lights in my bedroom back on, but stayed in there with the door closed, figuring I'd sit in bed on my phone until I got tired again.
You got 2 rooms to sleep in?
Over the next 30 minutes, I kept catching myself looking at the door and at the hallway to the bathroom, like out of paranoia. Even after all the excuses I made, my gut still felt like something was off about all this. I just didn't know what to do about it. I'd already checked the whole house earlier, but I figured maybe I should double check. I got up and opened the door to the main upstairs hallway. The house was eerily quiet. I took a few steps through the hallway to the spare bedroom and opened the door. It still had my grandparents' old bed and furniture.
Wait, why are there
in it,
boxes?
along with a bunch of
Was that there?
boxes stacked along the wall.
That wasn't
I
there.
got a really unsettling feeling being in that room.
Dude, you literally went in that room a few minutes ago. But now you don't notice, right? Now you don't notice, and that some dude with a brick is gonna come just freaking hit you on your head, boy. You're gonna end up in a puppet combo game.
I know the whole point was to actually search the house,
But
but
were
as
you
soon as
scared?
I stepped foot in there, my body just locked up.
Yeah, I would've been scared too. I'm not gonna
My
lie.
heart rate was picking up, getting faster and faster, like an alarm was going off inside me, telling me to get the hell out of that room. And then I saw something. A shape sticking
Whoa.
out under the covers on top of the
What
bed.
you trying to do?
As I looked at it more, I
It's probably a
slowly
pillow.
was able to make out that it was a body.
Huh?
Someone was in the bed under the covers.
Huh?
The immediate panic set in as I tried to back up.
Oh no.
Caused me to stumble a bit, making a loud creak on the wooden floors. Instantly, the person sat up in the
What
bed
the freak?
so fast that he surely wasn't sleeping and was probably listening to my every move already. It was a man, his eyes piercing into mine, but that was all I could see before booking it out of the room.
Bro, you could bang on that dude, bro. You could bang on that dude, bro. It looks like he hasn't ate anything. It looks like he's homeless, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Dude probably has nothing to lose. Look at him, bro. Dude has a stubby mustache, a stubby goatee. He might have a sleeper build. So I guess you're right to run.
Footsteps followed close behind.
Now run. Run.
I didn't stop until I got out of the house and ran down the road to the neighbor's doorstep, the same one that I
I
talked
would have
to
broke down that
earlier.
door.
She
Let
let
me
me in and got help on the way. I was thankful that officers arrived relatively quick, but the intruder
We
must
all
have
know
run
why.
out
We all
right
know why
away
they got here quick.
because he was already gone.
Dang.
In the weeks that followed, my parents helped to do an inventory check on everything they knew was in the house, or at least all the valuables, and nothing was missing, or if anything was, it wasn't valuable. Which begs the question, why was he there?
To sleep.
A lot of people think he just knew that nobody lived in the house, and so he was squatting in it, living in it without anyone knowing. But what terrifies me and makes me think that might not be the case
You never knew he was
is
there.
that I'd been there for 2 months.
Yeah, you never knew
So
he was there.
he had to know I was there. Was there a chance he'd been hiding, living there with me that whole time without me being aware? And what would have happened had I not found him and run away? I moved out immediately and haven't been back to the house since.
What are you
I
talking?
probably never will.
Why are you moving out just because some dude scared you, bro? Buy a you know, like, bro, like, dude comes in one more time, bro. You could be like, yo.
I was on my way back from a road trip. Wasn't anything great, just visiting some of my folks for a few days. I always hated that the drive was 14 hours though.
Damn.
It was just too
14?
much to do comfortably in one day, but also not long enough to feel
What the
justified in getting a hotel
What the heck is
and
that
making
wheel?
the drive twice as long. I always forced myself to do it all in one day, which just took all the enjoyment of the road trip completely out of it. Anyway, I'd left my folks' place around 3-ish in the afternoon, so I was driving through the night. Wasn't a smart
Bro
move.
got an unnamed car.
I was tired and sleepy by 12 a.m.
Bro got an unnamed car. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. He just has an unnamed car. Come on.
But this part of the road wasn't through cities or anything at all like that. It was barren forest roads or just open nothingness. Couple gas stations every so often, and maybe a few dirt streets leading to who knows where. I figured I'd stop whenever I had the chance and grab something to keep me awake. A coffee, energy drink,
Bro,
literally.
look at this dude's steering wheel, bro. You had a peace sign steering wheel, bro. Like, yeah. I don't know how you're not dead yet, bro. And the thing's not connected to the car. And look, is there more room in your car?
Anything. I found a small gas station a little ways down the road, in the trees off the side of the highway. Looked like a local one, so maybe a small town was behind it, though it was of course covered up by all the trees. No streetlights even went down that road that went behind the gas station.
That's a weird street for a gas
As I
station.
pulled in, a small town was behind it, though it was of course covered up by all the trees. No streetlights even went down that road that went behind the gas station. As I pulled in, I noticed this gas station looked a little strange. It wasn't like those modern ones, with the giant overhang covering the pumps.
Yeah.
It was just a few pumps sitting out in the open, and no lights near them. Even the building didn't look like it had lights on inside.
Dog, don't go near it, bro.
All this to say, I definitely would have thought this place was closed, or maybe even abandoned, if not for the 3 or 4 other cars parked in the parking lot.
It's a meeting that you don't want to be
like
at.
A typical old-school gas station on the side of a barren highway, with other customers also here,
They're in the store?
except not as lit up as it should have been. But I assumed since others were here, it was still open.
Yeah.
I parked next to the other cars and got out. As I walked up to the door, all I could see was my reflection on the glass.
Is that dark?
Until I opened it. The instant I opened the door, all 4 or 5 people standing scattered throughout the inside of the shop immediately turned and looked at me. Not just a glance. They all shifted and stared simultaneously, holding their eyes fixed on me. The men's faces were all rugged and emotionless.
Bro, leave.
But that's all I could see.
Leave,
because
bro.
After being caught off guard by them, I noticed not only was it insanely dark, but it was also empty.
Yeah, bro, leave.
All the shelves.
Look, if you're looking for something in a store, and there's nothing for you in the store, bro, why would you continue to hold open the door, staring at these people? Well, you think one of them's high? You want to kiss one of them? I mean, that's what you're into, bro. Why you hold open the door for so long, looking at people like this? You're like, yeah, I getting gum, spearmint, juicy fruit, Doritos, Fanta. No, all right. I'm just keep on staring at y'all. Okay, blonde boy. Okay.
You what?
Yeah.
Shelves were still standing, but nothing was on them. Even after seeing that, and looking back up at all the men, they were still looking at me, like I didn't belong there.
Why are you still standing there?
All of this took place over maybe 10 seconds, before I backed up and let the door close in front of me, then hurried back to my car. I didn't know what the hell that was, but it felt like some strange cult meeting at an abandoned gas station that I unknowingly barged in on. I pulled away from the store and back onto the road.
Yep, as you should.
Guess this was kind of one of those things you just don't think too hard about and move on from. Because 10 minutes later, I had accepted the fact I'd never actually know what I walked in on, and was back to looking for a gas station. Hopefully an open, safe one this time. The empty road didn't look promising though. Another 10 minutes went by when headlights came up behind me. I was going relatively fast.
Bro, recruit this guy for Fast and Furious 300 or something. How? Bro, he dipped And dude went after him. No, where did you know where he was going? You got a GPS tracker on him? How? This guy has to be like I don't know.
Maybe 10 or 15 over the speed limit. And with no other cars out on the road, this was the first time someone had come up behind me in probably hours. And then there was another, maybe even several more. I couldn't really tell as all their lights blended together. They were all coming up real fast though. I moved into the right lane to let them pass, and the first one did, but
if he goes in
quickly
front of you,
merged back in front of me.
Bro, why would you do that? Why would you do that? Dog, if look, dude, so you're telling me you didn't look at these dudes' cars. You like red, blue. You didn't take a look at their cars, knowing what color they were, what scratches what they have. If I'm going to a store, you see the outside first. So I process what's going on the outside first. There's a homeless dude standing in the front where I'm gonna have to lie and be like, yo, I don't got no money. And after I come out with a bag of Doritos, and he looks at me, he's like, bro, I process the situation before I go there. I see a car at the gas pump and be like, yo, that's a car I might need to watch out for. If I'm walking, if I'm driving, you need to process that before you go in. But dude looked outside. He was like, yo, I want a Red Bull and some Doritos. Like, and after these dudes caught up to you in what you say 10 to 15 minutes? How? And also, I forgot to put on subtitles. I'm stupid for that. I am stupid for that. But yeah. Let's see how this plays out. Let's see if you're gonna be like Need for Speed. Let's see.
I was aware enough to already be slowing down a bit, but I definitely wasn't expecting them to slam on their brakes. Nearly had a heart attack as I did the same, trying to also swerve to avoid hitting them.
Whoa. You said swerve. You stopped and then reverse at the same time. How's that possible? Hold on.
Already be slowing down a bit, but I definitely wasn't expecting them to slam on their brakes. Nearly had a heart attack as I did the same, trying to also swerve to avoid.
You hit the dude, bro. So now you're dead. You're gonna have to get out, give them insurance. They're gonna give you life insurance, literally.
Avoid hitting them. I managed to stop just a couple feet from their bumper with my car slightly sideways.
Yep.
And that's when everything sort of set in.
Yep.
This was one of the cars from the gas station.
I would wait until
mirror.
that front dude gets
the other
out.
Car stopped right behind me.
I'm literally
and another
gonna
came and pulled up near the door. In a matter of seconds, multiple men were getting out of the cars.
If he doesn't have a knife, a gun, you're chilling.
If this were happening during the day and not on some desolate road at 1 a.m. with nobody else around, I might have taken a safer approach. But given the circumstances, I felt I had no choice but to take the risk of trying to escape.
Look, I would have reversed.
With cars blocking every way, I drove off the road and into the trees, not getting too far before grabbing my phone and bailing from the car. I sprinted into the forest.
Dude, wait, you said you went off the road, but you're still on the road, and you went into the trees. You went into the trees. Let me see. Let me see how you handle this.
Trying to escape. With cars blocking every way, I drove off the road and into the tree.
So dude could have hit a quick, go forward. And then after been on the road, I would have went 120. I'm killing myself before y'all kill me. Simple as that. Like you're not gonna be seeing me get tortured or killed. I may be on the news, but hey, you ain't taking me.
Not getting too far before grabbing my phone and bailing from the car. I sprinted into the.
So maybe you should have thought about that when you crash into the tree, you could have called the police while you're on the phone and be like, yo, or go to the nearest police station.
Forest. It was essentially pitch black, even just 30 feet into the trees. I kept running, hearing all the men's footsteps coming up behind me. But as I got deeper, I think they couldn't see enough to follow me. I sat up against a tree and waited,
Behind the bush.
maybe a whole hour even,
Hide in bush like it's
without
Fortnite.
turning my phone on. I was scared one of them would be around and see the screen. So I sat there and just stared at the nothingness of the pitch black.
So like you couldn't like put it under your shirt, do like this, decrease the brightness, and then after like call somebody.
Woods
What a
and listen
bingo.
to the leaves rustling in the branches above me.
I say this and
After that hour, I finally got my phone out and used the map to get me back to the road, where I could then get a signal enough to text 911. All the cars were gone, except for mine, still between all the trees off the
Did they
road.
rob your car?
After that long night, a tow truck was able to get my car out, and surprisingly, it had almost no damage.
Oh, okay.
Whoever had been following me and attempted to stop me, there's been no update on. I think I've settled on the fact that the men likely thought I'd witnessed or seen something in that gas station that I shouldn't have, and so they followed me in an attempt to clear themselves, whether that was by kidnapping me or getting rid of me and hiding any evidence in the secluded forest off the side of the road. The picture of me walking into that gas station and all the men turning and staring at me is still burned into my mind. It still haunts me thinking about what could have happened.
There's one that happened. I'm joking. I'm not gonna do all that. All right, last and third story.
I'm writing this while the memory is still fresh. It only happened a couple days ago. I had Tuesday and Wednesday off of work this week and was hanging out at home. No plans, just chilling and having some quiet time alone. On Tuesday night, I thought it'd be nice to order some food, just to save me time from cooking. So I pulled up DoorDash and found some random place that was still open, and got a small meal.
Okay.
It said it'd take around 45 minutes. I stayed in the living room and watched YouTube on the TV. It was a good night up until this point.
That's a good night watching YouTube. Order food.
After around 45 minutes, I happened to get up and just casually look out the window. I don't even know why, really, as I could easily just open the app to check on the delivery. But when I looked out, I noticed there was a car parked in my driveway. Immediately, I opened up DoorDash and checked the map, and the delivery guy was still 10 minutes away. But then, who was in my driveway? I'm not really a loud-spoken type person, so I wasn't keen on going outside and saying anything to them. I mean, surely they'd realize they were in the wrong place and leave without me having to say so. I went back to the sofa, but got up and checked out the window every couple of minutes. When the DoorDash order arrived, the car was still there in the driveway. From the window, I couldn't really see much into the car, so when I answered the door for the delivery, I asked the driver if they'd seen anyone in there. He said yeah, there was just some guy in the driver's seat, but he didn't really look too hard. I thanked him and he left. I felt really uncomfortable about this. I tried to gather the courage.
Wait. Sorry for pausing the video. But did dude have a whole DoorDash mobile?
I thanked him.
He had a
and
DoorDash
he left.
mobile, bro. He had a DoorDash mobile for DoorDash, bro. DoorDash doesn't even give those out, bro.
I felt really uncomfortable about this. I tried to gather the courage to go out there and see what they were doing, but only 5 minutes after sitting down to eat, there was a knock at the door. I jumped up from the couch. My heart was racing, and I stood looking at the door for a minute before walking over slowly, trying to stay quiet. When I looked out, no one was there. The car was still out there though. I took a deep breath and opened the door. I stepped outside. It was dark and quiet.
That's your biggest mistake. Why
I
you
looked
stepping
down
out
the
at
side
night?
of the porch, but still saw no one. So I walked down the driveway and up to the car. When I looked through the
No one's in
window,
it.
whoever had been in there was gone.
And now he's inside your house. Why? Because you wanted to act smart, open the door, not lock it, step out the door into the drive-thru just to check it in this man's car. You're gonna find out the door that you closed is open, and now he's inside your crib, eating your food, and is going to torch you. Is in which she has in mind, maybe. But and you're a woman. So he probably has the most crazy, disgusting intentions for you. But if you're able, you know, to escape the situation, call the police.
A chill came over my body. I moved to the back of the car to get the license plate, only to find it didn't have one. That made me even more scared because it made me think whoever this guy was, he had planned for this.
He wasn't a rookie.
I moved away from the car to head back inside as I was really starting to get uncomfortable and felt now that it was definitely a good time to call the police.
Yes, it is.
I stepped inside and closed the door behind me, but immediately I got a really strange feeling. The house was quiet, but it was like my senses picked up on something being off. I crept over to the living room and looked at the couch. My phone was gone.
Yo, your camera, stop. All right. Dang, you look fried. Either way, this dude is no rookie. He knew he. Is that a guest photo you have on your in frame? You have that in a frame? Anyways, this girl or this woman, you open the door, leave it unlocked, then dude goes in and steals your phone. This dude is not no rookie. He's not no novice. He's someone intermediate to a pro level kind of stalker or kind of criminal. Now he knows what he's doing, probably with women. He takes their phone so they can't call 911. And that's my phone. Oh, let me answer. Psych. I ain't answering that, boy. I'm recording a video right now. My bad is on. All right. Oh, shut. Oh. All right. Let's get back to the video.
Bone in my body felt like it just stung with fear. Before I could even get myself to move, I heard the slow sound of a door hinge creaking open.
Hungry Root is the easiest way to eat healthy. Hungry Root is kind of like having your own personal shopper.
Felt like it just stung with fear. Before I could even get myself to move, I heard the slow sound of a door hinge creaking open.
Yeah, that's one would have dipped.
Then a few footsteps moved quietly down the hallway toward the front door, but they stopped just before passing the corner. They were waiting there, right around the corner near the front door. I couldn't just run out. I was frozen for a few moments, then started to very carefully and quietly make my way to the other side of the house.
Okay.
No matter which way I chose, I'd have to pass by the hallway that I knew the man was in. So whatever I was gonna do, I knew I had to do it fast. I hesitated for a second. I think the anxiety of
Hesitation
what
is
I was
defeat.
about to do took over for a moment. But then I got a hold of myself and made a dead sprint for the back door. I unlocked it and ran out of the house.
Yeah.
And just as I stepped out the door, I
Should I grab you?
heard the man behind me call out my name.
Whoa.
Not even just my first
Yeah.
name,
This
but
guy's
my
not
last
intermediate.
name too.
He's a professional.
It confused
He's a
and shocked me
professional.
enough to make me turn around and look back. The man
freaking
was
frog!
bounding towards
You
the back
freaking,
door.
you freaking frog!
Yo, this guy, bro, this guy is bro, Hall of Fame. Bro, Hall of Fame. Hall of Fame. First, you pull up to a drive-thru, right? No instruction, nothing. Then you have no license plate. Okay? Remember. Then she comes outside. When you knock, right? She comes out, leaves the door unlocked, goes to your car, and you're like, yo, let me go into this girl's crib real quick. And then he's inside your crib, takes your phone, takes your phone. Bro, like, takes your phone, right? Then the dude is looking into the crib, trying to probably find something to sniff or lick. Oh, okay, he's probably a weirdo. All right. And then, dude yelled out your last name and your first name, your government name. So, he's seen you around before. And dude is running like he's a track star. Like he's running like he's Mr. X. He's running like he's Broly. Like you see this guy's form? You see this guy's techniques? This is the techniques of a stalker, an incel, a womanizer. What do you call him? A womanizer. This guy is a threat to women as a whole. Don't let this guy out.
I could see most of his face, but had no recognition of ever seeing him before. I turned back and continued running. The area behind my house was just a flat continuation of the neighborhood. Not really any places to hide. I could hear the man still chasing me though. I kept running, making it past the next row of houses, and decided to just start running down the sidewalk and hope a car or someone comes by to help me. But after a few minutes, I looked back, and the guy wasn't there.
And I'm gonna have to give him one less one. You suck at running. Your form's good. You just suck at running. Okay. And whoever the girl is, good job. You probably ran track, or the guy was just slow. But good job. You escaped the dude. He was just trash. Lock that guy up.
It took a long time to find someone willing to help me to call the police. And so the man wasn't anywhere around by then, having taken his car and fled. And apparently the guy was smarter than I thought, because I immediately tried tracking my phone, but he tossed my phone in my front yard before leaving, so we couldn't track it to find him. And apparently the guy was smarter than I thought, because I immediately tried tracking my phone, but he tossed my phone in my front yard before leaving, so we couldn't track it to find him.
He's a threat to all women.
If this were just a regular break-in or robbery or whatever, I'd be a lot less traumatized. But clearly it wasn't that.
You know what he was doing.
There was more to it.
Yeah.
This was a stalker, having known my full name and likely a whole lot more about me.
Wild.
There's no saying how long he'd been watching me for, or what he wanted to do. It's only been a few days though, and I'm already planning to move far away.
Good.
I can't sit around knowing whoever that was still knows where I live. If there's any updates in the next few weeks, I'll try to let you know.
Get a roommate. Get a roommate or a lot. All right. That's it. But yeah. sheesh, man, that guy knew what he was doing. He wasn't like you can obviously tell he knew what he was doing, and he's been in these situations before. But yeah, let's go do it for the 3 scary stories. So let me know what y'all want me to react to next. Y'all can put it down in the comments, and I'll get back to you. And yeah, I'm gonna be uploading more. Hopefully I keep my promise. But yeah, thank you for watching the video. I don't got an outro, so I'm just do this.